Good morning. How is everybody doing today? How are you, Rachelle?
Good morning. That went live a lot faster than I thought. I was waiting to see like the last image, and then I thought, oh wait, we're on a 30-second timer today. So I'm good. It's good to see you. It's different to be at this time because when we started almost a year ago, we were going live around this time. So yeah, I'm just happy to see you. And you're looking marvelous today. I love your
I
hair,
am.
I have to say. Yes. Yeah.
We're so
Yeah.
kind.
And your background? No, I do. I do.
Uh, Actually, it's so funny that you said that because like I was scrambling to find a place. So we're in Homer, Alaska. We're about 5 hours away from Anchorage. I think 5 hours. I could be wrong. And so yeah, I've been scrambling. That's so nice of you to say, but I'm in my room. I wanted to show you the view, but I was telling Tim or our guest, it's just the view's not picture perfect yet because we're in a new neighborhood. But what you're at home. You weren't home earlier this week. You were all over the place.
Yes, I was hanging out in, the virtual space for a while with ISTE, and I got to do a little quick travel.
Yeah. So
So
cool.
it was very nice. It was very nice to be at an in-person conference. So where I didn't
Ooh,
really know anybody, but it's okay.
yeah, that I know. I can't even imagine. What conference was that?
Model Schools Conference in
Oh, okay,
Nashville.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
So if you are watching, I'm sorry, I was like so hyped before, and then like that 30-second thing like calmed me down a little bit. But if you're watching and you're on vacation or you've been traveling or you're at home, let us know. We have an amazing guest today. Are we ready to bring him up, Rochelle?
we are. We are.
Do you want
Yep.
to do you want to give him the introduction? I didn't even ask earlier.
You can do it. You've had coffee.
Okay, sounds good.
No, I'm
All right,
kidding.
I'm gonna
No.
I'm gonna bring Tim Cavey up. He is the founder of Teachers on Fire. He does his podcast. He does his roundtable, right? You do a roundtable,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
you really are on fire. You've been doing a lot lately in your community. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But you're just an amazing educator, and you like to be encouraging, and you are hoping to help others like kind of improve and just in meaningful ways. It's so good to see you, Tim. How are you doing, and where are you coming live from?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Melody and Rachelle. It's so good to be here with you this morning. I'm so excited. I'm coming to you from a hotel in Whistler, which is about 2 hours from Vancouver. And
Cool.
Whistler's recent claim to fame is that it was the host of the 2010 Winter Olympics. So it's sort of an Aspen. It's like Aspen North is kind of the way to think of this town.
That is so cool, and I really enjoyed your photos along the way. And you went hiking yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, we had a massive family hike. Well, I say massive, it was about an hour and a half up the mountain, but just these beautiful, pristine, emerald, turquoise water lakes. And yeah, I definitely got my nature fix. And it's part of how I recharge every summer is just taking in the beauty around me. So yeah, it was a blast. It was really, really good. And we had the perfect weather for it, had the paddleboard out there on the lakes, and it was amazing.
Those
Ugh,
pictures were amazing. Like I was so jealous. Just look at me, just absolutely beautiful. Trees. I love the trees, but just
Yeah.
even just the color of the water and
Oh.
everything. So I couldn't handle all the like the activities that you were doing. I would have to just be sitting somewhere and like observing, reading a book and drinking coffee. But I would really enjoy being out there in that space. So
Well,
yeah.
that was all my boys wanted to do at the lake is just sit in the shade and just watch what was happening and sort of keep asking every half hour, "Are we going back now? Are we going back now?" So I was telling Melody off air, I've got some work to do getting them, completely on board with the whole hiking thing. But
that's how my friends here feel about me because they all go hiking and they love the outdoors, whether it's wintertime or summertime, they're outside. And I am like not there yet, not even close.
I am not a hiker. Going up the steps to me on most days feels like I've just gone hiking.
I love that so much. And so that is really cool. But I love that you are so family oriented and you're recharging and your pictures are amazing. So you got to check them out. Do you put them on Twitter too, or is it just Facebook?
I lately I have been putting a few of them on Twitter, and I make these little TikTok compilations of all the highlights, and then I threw that up there. So yeah,
Good
breaking
night.
the rules a little bit, right? Because photos are supposed to be only on Instagram, but yeah.
No, I think it's great. That is so funny. You're really in everything. That is great. And so that reminds me, we are making shout outs to our community. I want to give a shout out to you. You're really everywhere. You're doing great things all over social media. And we're going to talk about blogging in just a minute. But Rachelle and I decided to make this a part of our Thrive O'Clock, like give shout outs. Who wants to start? I know I have people I want to shout out to. And if you're watching and you want to give a shout out to anybody, I will flash your comment up here. So let's give some shout outs.
Who goes first?
I am happy to lead off. I'll give a shout out to my friend Brian Carpenter, who is a passionate colleague. I'm sure you've come across him on Twitter, and he teaches about 30 minutes away from me, but we seem to continually have these connections. And I know, knowing him the way that I do, he's going to be out there on the lakes, and his big passion is fishing, which I don't share, but I do look forward to connecting in person with him at some point this summer. And speaking of that, actually, we're going to be doing a British Columbia Twitter content creator, educator kind of a meetup in Vancouver. So a few more names like, let's see, Olivia Chan, Tom Schimmer,
Yes.
and Tim Stevenson, and a few others. The list could be really long. My only anxiety is creating this huge group that I can't possibly reserve tables for. So for the time being, I'm just keeping it to about half a dozen, but I'm really excited to meet. I've never met Olivia Chan in person, even though she teaches really close to where I teach. So yeah, just some of those get-togethers are going to be awesome. So shout outs to those fine people.
Yes, that's amazing.
Awesome.
I love that. And you're going to go live when you do that, right?
You know what? I that wasn't in the plans, but that's not a bad idea. That could be really fun.
Well, let me know if you need some help. Yes, that sounds great. Did I take it from you, Rachelle? I'm always interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, you did not.
Well, I want to give shout outs to Ike Ramos, Juquetta Johnson, Dr. Tiffany McCoy, and Dr. Desiree Alexander. We had an amazing EST panel earlier this week, and it was something that really energized me. So I want to give a shout out to all of them. And yeah, I've been, a lot of people, I love the EST Live. You can watch it over and over or whatever. So we are getting feedback, but it was pretty amazing to be a part of their panel. And they are amazing educators to follow. And just Nearpod in general. I absolutely love Nearpod. Lindsay Rothfeld, did I say her last name right? Yeah. Rothfeld. Yeah. She is our pioneer leader, and she's amazing. I want to give her a shout out. So yeah, thanks for letting me have that little minute. What about you, Rachelle?
I did enjoy listening to your session. Was it Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon? I forget which one.
It was Saturday. You're right.
It was Saturday. Okay.
It was Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think yours was before. I had a session on Saturday afternoon as well as part of a panel. But shout outs. Let's see here. I'm going to shout out James McCrary for helping with the VR session on Wednesday for EST, and my BFF Jamie Donnelly, because she's just a little bit chaotic with me sometimes, and I'm so thankful for her friendship. But we did, one of my sessions was supposed to be on immersing students in learning with AR, VR, and AI, and some of the people from EST had reached out to see if we wanted to do the session in Mozilla Hubs. And I was like, okay. So Jamie and I did that on Wednesday. And, some friends that are very supportive that always join in, like Denise Wright is always joining in, David Lockett, Laura Steinbrink, always popping in to support and everything. So giving shout outs to all of those. I think I named 5 people in that as well. So, yeah.
Yes. I want to give a shout out to Barbara and Mel for joining us. It's so good to hear from you. Yeah. And so, Tim, are you doing any conferences as well?
I am not. The only thing I'm involved in right now is a book study on Todd Whitaker's book, What Great Principals Do Differently. And I'm doing that with Michelle Papa. And we're early in, but really enjoying that.
Oh, that's great. That is so cool. And Rachelle, I know you have more conferences coming up.
Yeah, I probably do. I mean, this was a busy week. Like last Thursday, I was working on 17 different presentations of sorts. And so a little bit hectic, but Changemaker is one that's coming up. Jesse Levinsky had done that with a couple of his friends. Last year was Changemaker 2020. Now it's Changemaker 2021. It's totally free. So that'll be available later this month. And there are some other ones that are coming out too. But that's really it for the summer. No travel in the foreseeable future, but it really was nice to be at an in-person event. So I'm hoping that next year, whenever FETC and TCEA roll around and ISTE next summer, that, oh, Mel, you're hilarious, that we can be back in person, because just, I didn't really know anybody this week, but just to be in a room and like see a presenter and people from other places and schools talking and connecting. And it wasn't in a bad location either. So just throw that out there.
That is so cool. And Mel says she's flying to Bogota first, doing oh my gosh, she's doing a rafting trip. Oh, that is so cool, Mel.
Bogota.
But yeah. What did I say?
I let her slide. As a Spanish teacher, I was just letting it go.
Tell me what I said. I want to say it again. Bogota. What did I say? Yeah. I cannot. Yeah. Anyway, that is so great. And another thing that we're going to be talking about is the purpose of blogging. And are you blogging about all your conferences and you know what? Here, I am like, do you ever get like your brain just like stops? That's where I am right now. Mm-hmm. So y'all take over.
Okay. So the purpose of blogging. So I'll lead this one off just quickly, because Tim had done twice, right? You had on a Saturday where we were, I think Mel sent hers in and me too. We were like, oh yeah, we're going to we had no idea that you were going to go through and kind of look at them and evaluate. And then you invited me to be on one of them with you, but it was, I really enjoyed it, like seeing other people's blogs and so forth. And so anything that you want to share with blogging, because I know that like our good friend Fonz, it was on last Friday, I think it was, he has been blogging a lot, and it comes through the Teachers on Fire, right? Mm-hmm. On Medium, and just getting up and going with blogging. So Mel is probably coming back in, but so how much do you blog? What is your advice about blogging? Or if you want to talk about when you did those 2 episodes and looking at blogs, like what to look for, I will stop there.
Yeah. Thank you for that setup. There are so many directions we can go, but I'll start with the purpose. And actually George Couros has written really well about this, but just the power of reflection and the power of insight that comes when we actually take the time to write about our own practice. It seems kind of obvious, but I think most educators don't actually ever do that. Maybe they are required to here or there, but even then it's rare. So just the value and the selfishly the way it pours back into you and into your practice is really, really powerful. So I'm always encouraging educators to write about their practice, even if it was a blunder, even if it's something you're struggling with. Other educators are going to resonate with your journey, and they're going to find value in what you are sharing and what you're processing. So you're right. We did a couple of these blog reviews, and I think they were more intense than the 2 of you were ready for, but you were good sports. And the purpose, and by the way, we're doing a 3rd round tomorrow, and Jillian has agreed to come on with me. So we're going to be looking at more blogs tomorrow. And again, the feedback should all be kind, specific, and helpful. So we're not looking to obviously make anyone feel bad, but hopefully encourage and, hey, give some helpful suggestions, like consider changing the font size here, or your messaging here, or headlines. I wrote recently about how can you make a blog post that is compelling and effective, one that has a headline that actually lets people know what the post is going to be about, and having those professional looking images from Unsplash or other sources. And there are just little things you can do, tags, making it SEO friendly, little things you can do to actually make your post findable, searchable, which is really, really important, because I think a lot of teachers out there are, let's say, writing about their practice. They're trying it once or twice, but it's maybe not in the most thoughtful, intentional way, which is fine. I'd rather they write than not write. But there are ways, little strategies that we can use to actually make that post again, findable by other educators. So yeah, I'm not going to pump up my Medium involvement too much, because I know Rachelle wants people to contribute to her blog as well. So I don't want to take away from that. But yes, there are many places, the people here on this panel, others who would be happy to publish your work, help promote your work. And we are all willing and able. If you're watching this live or on the replay and you're thinking about doing some writing this summer, get in touch with any of the three of us. We're all passionate about it. And I think one of you asked at some point, like, what is my goal in terms of writing regularity? I would love to be putting out a piece a week. I've been a little snowed under here in the month of June, but as soon as I get back from this little mini family vacation, I'm going to get back to it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, that's oh wait, I thought I lost Mel.
Yes. No, and I'm sorry. I literally I couldn't put two thoughts together, y'all. So thank you for taking over. That was great. And everybody's saying that these are very helpful. And I liked your last blog a lot, Tim. So
Thanks.
I'm going to flash that up one more time. And I love that Rachelle is taking guest posts. And I've read several of hers. And so I'm going to also flash that up again, because if you're just getting started and you haven't built up your own blog, you know, and you just kind of want to get a taste for it, it is kind of good to guest blog for somebody else, you know, and then sometimes, because I guest blog a lot for like Alice Keeler, because I work with her so much, and then I need to make a post where I just put all of my guest blogs, because that's where I guest blog. I blog for her more regularly now than I do my own, which I feel that's what I felt like when you went your first live with your blogs, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I need to remember my own blog, because her blog and my blog are very different. And what do you guys think that your purpose is for blogging? What is your number one purpose of blogging?
Number one purpose. I mean, I'd love to hear Rachelle's thoughts on this. I think, as I said at the top, it's really first and foremost about me as an educator and articulating my own journey and sort of clarifying my own thoughts. So sometimes if there's an issue that I've been really wrestling with, or something I've been noticing for some time, that's the time to write and just sort of expand my thoughts. And it's so satisfying. I'm sure the two of you find the same, to sort of find that time to just sit down and unpack in a logical way, because it, you know, when it's in your brain, it's a hamster wheel, to just unpack in a logical way. Why do I think this practice is important? Why do I think this strategy needs to change? Why do I think, or why am I having trouble in this particular area? And so when we do that, yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, is it's helpful just for the author. And I think that's really comforting, because then we don't have to worry so much about the audience or the numbers. We can know that it's going to be a valuable practice, even if no one reads it. Now, having said that, we don't want to keep writing if no one's reading. I mean, personally, that's sort of where so there are other reasons to write as well. But Rachelle, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with like what you said too. For me, when I started, it was just sharing what I was doing. I didn't even know what a blog was, what it meant at first. It just sounded cool to be a blogger. And that goes back like 5 years ago. But I started for Teach Thought, actually. And they were just taking guest submissions. And Terry Hike, that is with Teach Thought, you know, I think I did maybe 7 or 8 of them. And I would just share, like, I did try project-based learning, or here are some tools I'm using for assessment, and put those out there. And then I created my own site. And I think that I was doing, I don't know. I have a binder where I actually for a long time was printing out the blogs that I had written. I don't know why. It was easier to find them there. But my initial purpose was just sharing the ideas that I was doing in my classroom, but also as a way to reflect on what I was doing in my classroom and put it out there. And it's unnerving at first, because you don't know how people are going to respond to it, or if you have a lot of errors in your grammar or anything, but we're always learning. And so we have to do that and build our own writing skills as well. But in the past probably 3 years, since I do write for other publications, I don't necessarily sit down and write a blog specific for like my blog, which is why I started to take guest blogs about, I guess, 2 years ago now. I opened that up. And I tell you what, for the longest time, I couldn't keep up. There were so many coming in on my list. I have a spreadsheet. And I mean, I was like 2 months behind, even though I was pushing out 2 per week. Now I haven't had as many lately, which I'm assuming because like people are just tired and taking a break. And I've been trying to supplement it with mine, but I just think it's great to share. I mean, it's great for us for reflective practice, because we're writing about our experiences, or we're sharing our ideas. And then to help other educators that might be struggling to find an idea or something, to be able to read something, go, oh yeah, you know what, I'm feeling the same thing. I'm not alone. And then maybe it encourages them to write, or even if it's not blogging, I mean, starting a podcast, because then you can even turn your podcast into a blog or vice versa. I mean, that's another little hack that's out there. And the other thing too is with blogging, this is totally not in alignment with what your original question was, but it can just be short things. It doesn't have to be an official blog site. Like, have Post-it notes or notepads around your classroom, and after you do something in class, like jot that down and put them together, and then maybe at some point you turn it into a blog. But I very rarely sit down and actually just type. I'm usually walking and talking and using the voice to text and fix all the weird words, and there's your blog.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to say, so Juan says that reflecting, learning, improving is his reason to blog. And I love that Laura said that she keeps all of hers in a Wakelet collection. That is so great. And Mel is just being hilarious. On another note, does Tim have a green screen, or is that his natural surroundings?
I think it's his natural surroundings. She's so funny.
This is not natural, Mel. But Mel, I want to see that blog about your sad reflections. That sounds like it would be some really good reading.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I do too, Mel. Pull it back up. Yes. Y'all, it is getting close to time. Do we want to keep talking about blogging? Do we want to do some Family Feud? What are you feeling like?
Can I throw in just some really good tips
yes,
for bloggers?
Of course, Tim. I hope you do.
Some quick value. Just to make sure my visit here actually has some significance. So the things that we are looking for in the live blog reviews that I've been doing are these 6 things. So if you're a blogger, a writer, you've been doing a little bit of it, and you have your own site, here's some things to think about. Number 1, branding and URL. Is your URL easy to remember? Is it easy to find? So I advise, or I suggest, getting rid of the WordPress.com or the Wix.com or whatever it might be, and actually shelling out the $15 or whatever it costs to get rid of that. Number 2, is the content helpful? Number 3, is the design appealing and accessible? Number 4, is the navigation easy to understand? Number 5, stickiness. Is it easy for me as a visitor to follow and subscribe? I think that one is really important. And actually, that's the reason I'm not a huge fan of some sites like Blogspot or others that are out there that I just can't see any way to subscribe or follow. So if you're expecting people to continually, sort of their own initiative, visit your site, I think that's not ideal. And then number 6, is the about page clear? Is it clear who you are, and is it written in the third person? And that tip about the third person comes from my friend Jeff Bradbury, home of TeacherCast, who says, Google, if you just say, if you title your about page, "This is who I am," Google doesn't know what that means. But if you say, "Who is Tim Cavey?" well, now Google can interpret that, and people searching for that will find that page. So yeah, just a few things to think about. That came a little fast and furious, but thought I would throw that in there.
I love those, and I was going to try to type it out, but you did go really fast. But I love that. So, and I agree about the URL. But if you're just starting out and you're just using a free account, you are going to have the WordPress or the Blogspot on there, and it may not be something that you want to invest in until you know that you're going to do it regularly.
Good point. I agree. Yeah.
So, and what do you guys? I do use WordPress. What do you guys use?
WordPress.
Yeah, I'm on WordPress for teachersonfire.net, which needs a lot of work, but lately I've been doing my writing on medium.com. The one nice thing about Medium gets in front of a lot of eyeballs, just the nature of the circulation and the curation. So people can sign up for digests and topics, and so they will see your articles even if they don't follow you. And then the other thing about Medium is that there is some compensation based on the traffic that comes to the post. And so usually we're not talking big dollars, but hey, any teacher can appreciate a little bit of side income, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I love that Laura says that she uses MailChimp for the subscribe by email, and then WordPress has the internal file options. That's great. Yeah. And I don't know if it's Gerard or Jared, but good information to take our blogging to the next level. So, okay, it's Gerard. Okay. And Mel says Medium has a nice format. So yeah, that's great. I mean, we can continue. I love blogging. Why did you guys decide? I mean, I know, Rachelle, you said that you started guest blogging, and I did the same. I was guest blogging, especially for different ed tech companies like Vocabulary and the Nearpod. And that's kind of what got me started. I was like, if I'm writing for other people, why can't I write for myself? Tim, what got you? What was that thing that made you decide to start blogging?
It's been so long that I honestly can't remember. I've been blogging even since, I was actually writing web pages in HTML. So that's going back, I feel like a couple of decades. But
it is.
I mean, I guess the short answer is there's just a lot of power in it. And I'll just leave it at that for now. That's the short answer. But it just does a lot of good things. So yeah, I would encourage. I think it's an amazing step for any educator. I know not all will do it, but the more, the merrier.
Definitely. Yeah. And I actually prefer to read blogs than watch YouTubes, because I can read a lot faster than I can get through a YouTube. So that is my preferred way of learning. I don't know.
Every
video is good.
Yeah, every platform has its place, right? And Gary Vee talks about this. Some people will prefer to always watch video. Other people will prefer to read. It's a little harder to watch video on your phone when you're standing in the Costco lineup, but you can read a blog, right? And you can listen to content when you're working out. So sometimes podcasts are a little more ideal. So, I mean, I think Rachelle hinted at this earlier, but that's another piece too. If you are already doing the writing, consider recording your blog post and putting it out on a podcast. You can do that for free just on your phone very, very easily using the Anchor app. So yeah, lots of cool opportunities out there today.
Yeah, definitely.
And with Tim, tomorrow you and Jillian are going to be looking at different. Can people submit their blogs if they want you to check them out?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching this today with us, if you're joining us, first of all, thank you for watching and interacting with the show. And yeah, absolutely. If you would like to show up in our next round of live blog reviews, I've got the very similar show to Mel's and Rachelle's, and we air tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And we'd be happy to feature your blog, and you'll be able to see how we see it as first-time visitors and get our reactions.
So can they tweet you or find you on Facebook?
Yeah, I think you've got my my Twitter handles running there at the bottom, and that's great. Just DM me on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, I've got the same handles on Instagram. So you're probably on one of the two, I'm hoping. or on Facebook, whatever it is. I'm hopefully on every platform. I've got some kind of a presence, and yeah.
All right, awesome. And let's see, Juan says, that is a good tip. I've been doing the video to audio. That is great. Yeah, awesome. So thank you for tuning in.
And Juan says audio to blog. That's another interesting option. I was thinking blog to audio actually, but maybe that can go two ways.
Yep.
Definitely. Thank you, Laura. Yes. Oh, how did you feel, Laura, when he reviewed yours? When you first reviewed, I was like, oh my gosh, because I was just like, hey, I do write a blog, but I was really convicted about my blog. Like I need to be keeping up with it. So, Laura, how did it make you feel? I'm just curious.
Convicted is such a heavy word, Mel.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I'm really hoping again that any writer wants to improve, and I know my blog needs a ton of help. I'm actually considering hiring somebody to give me like a professional looking blog. You know what I mean? Because you visit some of these like big time content creators, and their sites look so amazing. So
I know.
Yeah, it was a bit nerve wracking.
That's probably a better, yes.
Laura, thank you so much. You're a good sport.
She really is. She is awesome. Thank you for being honest. Well, that is about it to our show. I want to respect everybody's time. Do you guys have any last words before we say goodbye?
Do we not have time for Family Feud? Yeah.
It's okay. Like, I mean, we can, but it's going to go past. Do you want to do Family Feud?
Can we do 2 questions?
Sure, we can. Okay, all right.
We can't have a Friday. We're not here next week at all. People will be like, no, the Family Feud is on summer break.
I got to see what this is like.
Okay, and if you are watching, please join in. We would love to have you join in. Since it's been super hot lately, we have a comment coming in. Since it's been super hot lately, Give me a phrase containing the word hot. And there are 6 answers. So if you watch Family Feud, they usually ask 100 people. And so they take we have 6 top answers. So what do you think? Give me a phrase containing the word hot.
Can we just shout them out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're not taking turns here. Okay. It's getting hot in here.
That actually is.
Oh, I like that
That's
answer.
really
though.
good. That
It's
is a good
getting hot
answer.
in here. Yeah. It's so hot you could fry an egg.
Oh, that's a good one. That's in there. No?
It's hot as the surface of the sun. I don't know. Don't count that one.
Yeah, I was
Don't
gonna
count that
say. Laura hit number 1. Hot tamale was number
No
1.
way.
Hot tamale.
Yeah, hot tamale is number 1.
Hot potato. No, don't count that one. Don't count that one. It's a joke.
Can I give you an old school one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Hot to trot.
Oh, it's such a good answer, but sorry.
Oh my gosh, this one's tough. I mean, I could think of one, but
if I tell you the answers, you're going to be hitting your head.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this number 1 was what Laura said, and she's a fan of Family Feud. I would be on your team, Laura. Number 2 is hot dog.
Oh.
Number
Obviously.
3, some like it hot. Number 4, outside. Did anybody say it's hot outside? And I missed it.
I just assume that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then number 5 is hot sauce, and number 6 is that's hot.
Yeah, I'm actually not hitting my head because I would not gotten those ever.
Okay. Yes. Okay. This is kind of like summer break. I picked the ones that have a summer break theme.
Okay.
Tell me what you think is the most boring state in America.
I don't want to offend anybody because they live.
We're going to be super
state.
offensive now. No, let's do it.
Isn't it North Dakota?
That is number 1.
Wow.
Good,
Ohio.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like
Ohio. Ohio is not on there.
Drop it like it's hot.
But sorry for all the Ohio people. Kansas is number 3. Good job, Laura. Kansas is number 3. North Dakota is number 1. Kansas is number 3.
Okay, we're going for top 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. North Dakota is not boring. I know, right? It's just the perceived notion.
Is Laura in North Dakota?
She's in Missouri.
Okay.
And Missouri's not on the list. I'm from, Gerard says Montana. No, actually.
Montana's got beautiful mountains. Yeah. Vermont.
Nebraska is number 2.
Andrew's from Nebraska. Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wait, Iowa, Idaho.
Iowa and Idaho are on the list, and there's one you haven't named yet. Yep, Iowa is on there.
Pennsylvania.
It's not. How could it be Pennsylvania? It is Utah. It is indeed Utah.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Wow.
I wouldn't have said, okay.
It goes North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Idaho, Iowa, Utah. That is, yeah.
Utah has the salt flats, right? To me, that's a dream to get there. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Mississippi is not on the list. So sorry. You guys want to do one more?
I'm down for one more.
Okay.
It's all about Rachelle's schedule, right?
Yeah. Rachelle, are you game for one more, Rachelle?
It's not about my schedule. This is the only thing I have today now for the rest of the day. So
okay. Okay, this is kind of summary too. This is wow, what a list. Yes. And Idaho is awesome. Utah has amazing. They do. This is just perceived. So let's not, we're not making it personal. It's all good.
Sorry, we're not beating up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name something you find sand in after a day at the beach.
Oh,
shoes.
Everything. Towels.
Towels. Mm-hmm.
Phone. Books.
Yeah. I'm going to have to be putting the X's up. These are good answers, but towel is only the one that you've said. Except everything, you have to be more clear. If I were a Family Feud judge, I'd have to say you need to be more specific.
Oh, okay.
So what does everything encompass?
Yeah. Bathing suit. I mean.
Yes, bathing suit is number 2.
Okay.
Butt crack is not on here. I would have thought that because in real life, guys,
Thanks for
it's all up
sharing that
there.
one.
I'm just
TMI,
saying,
TMI.
Carpet, that's true, wherever you are.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah. That's true.
But that's not on here.
Your car?
It's vehicle is not on here.
Hmm.
But we're realistically thinking. So okay, we got a lot of people coming in. I'm just saying, that when you're on the beach, it's everywhere. But so think about on your person. Think about on your person.
Oh.
In your nose? In your mouth?
I guess most people might have it in their hair, but
Thank you. Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
I can't really relate, but
Oh my God.
But yes, hair and body is one of them. Okay. Oh God, we got some
Toes.
coming in.
we're
Toes for
talking
sure.
yeah.
That's body. We'll say that was a body. Hair. Yep.
Okay.
Now you guys, now you're on the right track. Okay. Think about, somebody said feet, but what do you put on your feet?
Flip-flops, shoes.
Or
Sandals.
shoes. Yes.
Oh, I
Shoes,
said
clothes
shoes a
is
long
number
time
1.
ago.
Oh, I
Yeah,
hear
I think it was the
Rapid
first thing I
fire.
said.
Then you are number 1. You are number 1.
Right.
And,
Finally.
and we said,
finally.
yes. Do you want me to just tell you? Because of
Sure.
sandals? Yes. Okay. So number 1 was shoes, clothes. Number 2 is swimsuit. 3, towel blanket. No, I don't. Did we say towels? Maybe we did. Hair, body, shell. A shell.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
to take shells back. Yeah.
Yeah. A beach bag, which I'm not sure what a beach bag is.
A bag you
And-
take to the beach, like a purse. Like
Oh,
that,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. He said shoes. And then last is your money, your wallet. So boom. Yeah.
Send in your wallet. That would be a first. Okay.
Everywhere. I know,
Yeah.
right? I can't even believe butt crack wasn't on there. That is just crazy. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
sorry, Rachelle.
I'm
Gotta put
gonna.
my flavor.
Today is July 2nd. It is I Forgot Day. So I'm going to forget that you said that twice.
That's great because I totally had a brain moment where I couldn't even think. Oh yeah, thank you, Laura. Bag. Yes, a beach bag. I don't know why it just seemed foreign to my. But you're right, y'all. It is. It's a thing. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in. Whether you were joining in from somewhere around the world or Tim, thank you for being our guest. It was a great show about blogging, and I loved everything that you shared. Are there any last words before we say goodbye?
Just get out there and do some writing and share it with the world and watch what happens. It'll only bring good things. So thank you so much, Melody and Rachelle, for letting me hang out today. It was a lot of fun. And I continue to enjoy watching your shows whenever I can. And I'll connect again with you soon.
Yeah, great to have you. Thanks.
Yes, and same to you. I love your shows and everything you put out there. All right, everybody, have a great weekend if you're traveling or you're celebrating. Yes, have fun too, Laura. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye, everybody.
Bye.